Okay, this is going to be about the Building Heat Load Estimator within the professional version of Hydronics Design Studio 3.0. And the way you get there is on the initial startup screen, you take and you just bring your mouse over to the building load and you're in. From this point on, we'll talk about the interface. All the yellow text boxes are for inputs. The orange looking control buttons are for controlling or bringing up different pages. For instance, the exposed wall, let's say it's 500 square feet. If you pick on this particular icon, it will bring up your wall type screen. And then you have different selections on the left side for different types of walls. This is a frame wall, basement wall, masonry wall, stress skin panels, and ICF. In each of these, you have a selection for what it's made of, or its construction, and from that there's pull downs with the associated R values for each one of those. As you pull down each one of these and set a particular R value, the total R value or effective R value is added up here. Once you're done with this, and each, depending on the wall you have to have one wall construction for each wall. You go back and you return the R value. That R value, R 15.8, will now return to the value of this wall A. You're able to have two different types of walls within a particular room. We are currently in room 1, and we could add other rooms. I can add another room here. This would be room 2, room 3, room 4. You can have multiple rooms. You can also take a particular room and copy that room. So you can see the BTUs per hour for this room, since I copied it from room 1, is that. Okay, you can also change the name of the room. So you could call this, you have to go to this under room name, and you could call it BED1, and that should change it in the list of rooms. If you go to BD1, you can then change the windows in that for that wall A. We go into the different types of windows. Once you pick that window, you can set that R value, and then that can be returned to that window, 2.7. Let's say we do have a door of 50 square feet, and it's saying here the door area is we can't assign any door to this until it has some type of area. So we put in 30 square feet, and now I can go to that, and I have some, whether it's a garage door or passage door, I can again set the R values for that. I can also set here the size of the window. The yellow text boxes will take the input, and then I can return that value to this main screen, and it will keep that value in that particular door. In terms of output, you have output the results here, and the results are at the corresponding walls, windows, doors, ceilings, floors, and so forth. Okay, and it shows you what the numbers are here, as well as it gives you a bar graph of the percent of each of the heat loads for each of these walls or floors. The total for a particular room is here, and if I switch that room to room 3, you can see that updates there, but the total on the whole building is 60,798 BTUs per hour. Just to explore, we can go into the ceilings, and we have different types of ceilings that you can pick from, as well as, again, you can set their R values from a host of typically manufacturers, off-the-shelf type installations and constructions. We can return that R value of 16.4, and that 16.4 goes into the slot, this 1,000 square feet ceiling. And you can see the bar graph kind of gives you an indication of where the heat is being lost. We also have air leakage. There is a guide you could use here for picking a particular amount of losses in the air exchange rates. This is your volume. In a second, I'll get into the volume calculator and the area calculator. I'm not going to get into detail now, but I have a whole video on how to handle the area calculator and volume calculator. They're really great tools for helping you in some of your calculations. This package does have an option where you can override any of the R values, and then you could manually type them in. If you didn't want the 14.5, I'm going to override that. Let's say you know what it is. Let's say it's 50. So that value will now go into that instead of the graphical version of it. And it won't let you go there because you're overriding it. So if you click that little check box there for overriding or not overriding it. If it's not overridden, then it does go to the graphical interface in terms of picking out with the pull downs what the wall is made of. Just a quick view of the area calculator. I will get into it later on, but this is for calculating basic areas, and I'll get into that later on in a separate video. There's also a volume calculator. It'll do different volumes of different rooms to use that number in the room volume for the amount of air leakage losses. We also have a pop-up window that comes up for R values, listed R values, and you could take them, use this as a reference for if you're going to manually put in the R values. Again, you have to return to the building interface. There's a couple of other things up here. The menu items, we have files for saving and opening files. You can also do a print screen from here. And by the way, all the packages, all the modules have these menu items. So if you want to print it out, it will do a print screen of what you have on the screen right now. Again, the help, very extensive help. If you want to get into the details, you can scroll down through this, and it is organized in terms of subject matter of the inputs and outputs for this package. Quite extensive. Back to close the help screen. We saw the website and training and the README and the exit. So when exiting this, just hit the exit and it will close out. It will ask you, do you really want to quit? Because any changes they did make, if you didn't go to File Save, they will not be saved. I'm going to hit No. I think that wraps it up. Hope you enjoyed the talk.